TotalTeamRoping.com.
Hey, Brett Beach here with Jake Barnes, Charles Pogue, Cesar De La Cruz, and Bobby Harris with Total Team Roping TV and TotalTeamRoping.com. And we're in Mona, Utah at Randy Brooks' place. We've been doing a video shoot up here. We got a special guest that flew all the way from New Mexico to come up here and join us. Denny Gentry. He's the man responsible for the reason we're doing this. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here doing this, trying to bring you this instructional video. So we appreciate you coming up and being with us and wanting to talk a little bit about the World Series and team roping in general. So we appreciate you being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So what do you think about Total Team Roping since you've been here for a day?
It's great. It's great. These students got to be happy come in here and have 6 instructors and all the cattle they can rope.
Yeah.
What a deal.
So we appreciate you putting all this stuff together, because I promise you, and we all talk about this all the time. I know we're at a level where we haven't, the benefit that we get out of what you've done is what we're doing right here. I mean, the ropings that you've put together, and you've built the World Series, you've built the United States team roping, that's what you began with. And it doesn't, we see the benefits from the roping schools, the horses, the lessons, you know, tons of everything that these people buy. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't be doing this.
Well, it probably would have. Someone would have done it.
Well, nobody's sitting at this table.
You know, the one thing that our students talk about all the time is we're going to Vegas for $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just left Montana this week before I came here, and everyone there is getting ready to go to qualifier, and they're going to Vegas, and they've got their money set aside. What a wonderful opportunity to win $100,000 for the weekend roper. And when you're professionals like us and we teach all the time, it helps the schools, because they're wanting that extra knowledge to be able to win quite a bit of money.
Yeah, no, and that was one thing. I went out there and watched it last year, and I was simply amazed. I couldn't believe how many people was getting a run at $200,000. And not only that, I mean, you paid down like 40 holes, or was it 40 holes?
Right.
I mean, if you win 30th or 40th, it's $5,000. I mean, that's pretty good.
There's a lot of money. It was, I think the smallest one was like 1.2 or 1.15 or something in there, and that's, you're getting up in NFR range, because NFR is at the team roping is 1.5, so we got 4 of them up in the 1.1 range. So these people get to go get part of that NFR experience and run it $1,000,000-something bucks, all cut up and everything. And I mean, it's the kind of stuff we dream about when we were kids.
Exactly.
I can't believe it's actually.
He's still a kid, and he's still dreaming.
And what's so awesome about that is that you don't have to go 365 days to 85 rodeos to qualify for 10 days at the NFR.
I rode there with Randy Brooks last year too, and when you pull in there, I was amazed at how they just come and get everything out of your rig, take it to your stalls, get your clothes, you're checked in your room. You walk up there, you're checked in, you don't ever have to go back outside. You warm your horse up in there, it's just downstairs. They don't do this to Thomas and Mack boys up in there a lot of times. They don't cater to you like this, I promise. So I was really impressive going there. I really enjoyed it.
What do you got planned for the World Series? They're calling right now to set it up. What do you got going on?
Well, we've done about as many qualifiers as we think the industry can stand out there, so really I don't see that changing a whole heck of a lot. But we do want to, we've got a record there that obviously I want to attack. There's somewhere, even though it's a rodeo, there's a roping paying $1.5 million somewhere, and that's one record that I hadn't broke yet, so I guess that's got to be the target.
$1.5 million to be able to go to team roping and win $1.5 million.
One roping.
Yes.
Well, you're almost there.
We're there. We're close.
What do we have to do to get our numbers lowered?
Yeah,
We'll be a part of that.
About that right now?
I promise, and I've talked to a lot of open ropers over the years, and I've promised every one of them, and I promise you, eventually your number will be low.
It will get lower.
Like Charles Barkley said, nobody ever beat Father Time.
It is pretty amazing, though, to look at when we came up roping through the ranks and whatever, and there was just nothing to run at. You just had to go butt heads with the open guys or whatever, and to look at these guys now, I mean, it's pretty cool. The stuff they get to run out, the money and the prizes and everything. It's
when you started your first association in the U.S. with the numbers, that saved team roping, because it was done, basically. And then when you started the World Series and your 80% payback and the money you can win, people that have the 9-to-5 job, they can plan now. Like, I'm going to go to this 4 or 5 of these ropings and get qualified and go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's not just stretching you out. You
Right.
can still enjoy roping, which helps us in our clinics throughout the United States, Canada, and just like Jake, I know you've been doing a lot of schools this spring, been in Canada just recently, and I'm sure they talk about it up there.
Well, I think that's what's really helped the industry, in the schools and the TotalTeamRoping.com is that, what other sport as a novice that you can work at somewhat and get the information and go have a chance to win $100,000 in 1 week.
Yeah, in 1 week.
I mean, it's just incredible. So there is some incentive for these guys to go get the information and try to get better.
Well, and I think what's unique to this bunch here is it's different with World Series than it is with the United States Team Roping Championships when we had it. And it's still that way. USTRC is the organization for everything. And we've kind of carved out a niche here within the market. These are the guys that have roped a while for the most part, and they're serious. They want to make money. So from your standpoint at Total Team Roping, these guys have been around the block, and they've worked their way through that book. They know where they're weak at. They know what their weak points are, and most of them can figure out, okay, here's my hole. And they don't have to go and have you guys evaluate them and say, we can help you here, here, and here. They'll say, I've been roping for 45 years. Help me with this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, so our group, what I call our World Series niche, where the money players are at, they're a little bit more savvy about what they're up to. I'm not saying we don't have some beginners, but I'm saying for the most part, it's a niche market.
Well, and you're always advancing team roping. I mean, you truly tell us about your barrier at the World Series. Tell us about the scoring system.
The World Series barrier came about basically for a need, because that arena there is roughly about 220 feet long. And when we put the chutes in, boxes and everything inside, because we've got to kick them over a little bit, and we put all of that in there, that puts that arena at about 200 feet. So my problem was, how do you run $1 million rope and in a 200-foot arena with every classification number that there is in the books? And the answer was we needed to close the turn zone down more to the center of the arena. So we had to get more uniform start. And that basically what started us through a whole process of building that World Series barrier, which would give the animal place him at the start we wanted him to have instead of letting him run to it, and maybe letting the ropers have a little more fun and just go with the cow. So that was the foundation of that World Series barrier.
Makes your horses go a little longer. You have a horse at home maybe doesn't score the old traditional way, but now in your system, boy, you might have one of the better horses that fits that. So you can keep that one horse that you might think be making you a mistake. When you go to your roping, it might be the bread and butter.
That might. I think it's going to expand the number of horses that are winnable, that you can win on.
Right.
I think that's the thing that'll happen. Make more good horses out there, not necessarily in your eyes, but in most people's eyes.
And there's not such an advantage if you've got one of those horses that scores really well. You feel that you've got an advantage, but with this system, you need a horse that wants to pretty much go with the gate, and so you're not giving anybody an advantage by the horse. So and one of the things in the common low numbered ropers, they're so afraid of the barrier that they have a tendency to hesitate, and then the steer gets a jump on. Well, this thing, you need to be you still need to score, but you have to send your horse when the gate opens, when the steer starts, that you can go right with him, basically.
Denny, go ahead, Charles.
I was practicing with some headers getting ready to go to the Guthrie, your finals you had there at Guthrie, and it was kind of funny, how we're all scoring our horses and everything. Well, they're backing and they're trying to get theirs going quick enough, with the game. And it was, because they still go to ropings where there's a barrier or something, so they had to go try to get theirs adjusted.
TotalTeamRoping.com